Alright boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day. Okay, today boys, I wanted to talk about Rockstar Games, and unfortunately it's not good things I want to talk about. Now I want to say this lads, Rockstar Games have made some of the greatest games ever made, okay? That is absolutely undisputed. They are just the kings when it comes to making incredible games. Not just in the past, but also in the present, okay? Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, these are some of the best games ever made, that is undoubted. But I can't help but feel like Rockstar is getting progressively worse as time goes on, and I really feel like they're at an all-time low. There's just been a lot of bad things coming from Rockstar lately that have just kind of disappointed me, and it all kind of started around about the time of GTA 5. Before the release of GTA 5, there really wasn't that much bad things you could say about Rockstar, you know, they were just producing great games time and time again. But after GTA 5, something changed over at Rockstar, and that has to do with money.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to
release GTA 5 on PS5?
Money!
It's not like Rockstar was a small company or anything before GTA 5, but after GTA 5, they made such an insane amount of money, I think it changed the company a little bit. And I can't help but feel like this company is just getting greedier and just less competent as time goes on, and it's honestly kind of sad. But the reason I wanted to make this video today, let's talk about the peak days of Rockstar, is that we recently received some news about Red Dead Redemption, which is again one of Rockstar's best ever games. I mean, the original Red Dead Redemption and the second one are just masterpieces. But news has recently come out around Red Dead Redemption, and basically we're not going to be getting a remake or even a remaster of this game. We are going to be getting a port of the PS3 version onto the PS4 and Switch, which is just insanely fucking lazy and greedy in my opinion. Like, not even a slight little graphical upgrade, not even 60 frames per second. We are literally getting the PS3 version ported onto the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Like, that is... I don't even know what to say about that. Like, that's just so dumb. And it just seems to be a recurring theme now of Rockstar and just making lazy and greedy decisions, you know? We had GTA 5 on the PS3, and that's not only been ported over to the PS4, but onto the PS5 as well. We haven't had a GTA for literally years. Not too long ago, lads, we got the definitive edition of GTA with, like, 3 of the PS2 classics right here, and this is just one of the most lazy, like, remasters ever. Like, it was chock full of bugs and glitches. It did improve a couple of things, but there was a lot of things it didn't improve on, in fact negatively improved the games, and this is just very lazy. Like, it's just so questionable now at this company. Like, everything they do is just all about money, and again, it's kind of sad when you think about the peak days of Rockstar. And I kind of just wanted to talk about those peak days, okay? And in my opinion, those peak days were the PS2 era, okay? Rockstar during the PS2 era were on fire, and they were just releasing banger after banger after banger during the PS2 era, and nowadays, I mean, we don't even get any Rockstar games, let alone bangers. No! So I've got a pretty beefy pile of PS2 games here, boys and girls, all made by Rockstar, okay? And I kind of just wanted to go through them and just have a brief discussion about some of these games and why Rockstar was so good back in the day. So I'm going to kick things off, lads, of course, with the GTA series, okay? I mean, that's the best place to start when it comes to Rockstar. And some of you youngers might not even realize there's other GTA games. You might even think that GTA 5 is the only GTA that exists because it's been fucking remastered and reported so many times. But believe it or not, there's tons of GTA games. And during the PS2 era, lads, they made fucking 5 of these suckers. And it all started with GTA 3, one of the most influential games of all time. This was just, like, for its time, was mind-blowing. This is where open world gaming just became, like, something that we could only imagine, okay? And GTA 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, I've got the poster right there. I love this game. This is one of the first games I ever laid eyes on, and honestly, I still think about it to this day. I'll always remember booting up the game and having that iconic theme song playing with, like, the jazz and the saxophones. I'll always remember that very first map. You know, the other 2 maps are pretty good, but the first map of this game is just, like, I can literally envision it in my brain. I'll always remember the cheat codes for this game, you know, L1R1, L2R2, and all of that stuff, and I mean, this game is just so fucking good, boys and girls, and it's aged incredibly well considering how old it is. This is made, like, in the early 2000s, so obviously this is, like, one of the very first PS2 games ever made, and it's just, I mean, it's incredible, boys. It's GTA damn 3, you know, like, and again, I don't think people realize just how influential this one was. Shortly after that, lads, we had GTA Vice City, which is an incredible sequel to GTA 3. Didn't really do anything, like, crazy different. It's still, you know, classic GTA, but we got this amazing Hawaii setting during the 1980s, and it's just, I mean, it's such a fucking classic, right? The soundtrack to this game, absolute banger after banger. The story to this game was great as well. The voice acting was almost, like, it was unheard of how good the, like, voice acting was in this game at the time. I'm pretty sure Ray Liotta voiced the main character in this game, which was, again, just pretty unreal for the time. The gameplay was fantastic, and it was just such a vibe, man. You know, Vice City was just a truly incredible incredible sequel. And then we finished off the mainline series of GTA with an absolute banger, okay, and that is GTA San Andreas, boys and girls. Again, an absolute classic right here. The incredible story here, boys. The characters of this game were just so good. Again, the soundtrack was exceptional. There was also a ton you could do in this game. It was almost like a little RPG. Like, if you wanted to, you could make CJ really fat, or you could make him really muscular. Like, you had choices like that. This was also the first time that you could swim in GTA, which doesn't really sound like a big deal nowadays, but back during like Vice City era, if you got in water, you would just die.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
It was also the first time you could get BMXs, which is pretty cool. And I remember just as a kid, I would just ride around on BMXs on my brother's copy of this game. I also remember activating some cheats to get the jetpack. I would like fly up to the tallest skyscrapers and then jump off and just watch him commit suicide. I don't know why I would do that, but it was kind of fun. And again, this was just a mind-blowing sequel to Vice City. And all three of these games are just impeccable, but they always improved, you know, they improved the formula every single time. But that's not all the GTAs we had on the PS2, lads. We did actually get two more, okay, and that is Liberty City and Vice City Stories. Now, for those of you who don't know, these were actually originally PSP games. These were made specifically for the PSP, and these were pretty mind-blowing to play portably, lads. You know, getting a GTA on your portable system was pretty amazing back then. And these games were actually good enough to where they got PS2 ports, and obviously they're not as good as these games right here. You know, they're not as fun as like GTA San Andreas, but they aren't half bad, boys and girls. They're not half bad at all, and they're more than playable even today. So I remember playing Vice City Stories in particular, lads. I don't remember too much about it, but I do remember having a pretty damn good time with it. So right there, boys and girls, you've got not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 GTA games on one system. Like, that is just, like, that blows my mind even to this day, because we never really got anything like this ever again. You know, the PS3 era had GTA 4 and GTA 5. It also had episodes from Liberty City Stories, but then now after that, we haven't had a GTA since. Like, the last GTA we had was on the PS3, technically. And honestly, that's just kind of sad to me, because back when I was a kid, GTA games were coming out constantly, and it was super exciting. And nowadays, you know, it's just GTA 5. It's GTA 5 everything, and GTA 6 will come out, but that will be the, you know, that will be GTA 6 for life, probably. We'll probably never see a GTA 7. Anyway, enough about GTA, boys and girls. Let's move on to another game, okay? And this game is not actually made by Rockstar, but I kind of wanted to talk about it anyway, okay? And that is Oni. So if you look closely enough, lads, you will see the nice little Rockstar logo. However, this was not actually made by Rockstar Games. It was actually made by Bungie, you know, of Halo fame. But the reason I wanted to highlight this one, lads, is I remember picking this one up in game a very, very long time ago, and I only picked it up for 2 reasons. One, I thought the front cover looked pretty damn cool, but the main reason was that Rockstar logo right there. And the reason that's important, lads, is I trusted Rockstar with my fucking life back then, because, you know, back in the day, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't know what games were good. We'd look at the front cover and the back cover, and we'd make an assumption on whether a game was going to be good or not, but a lot of times, they weren't, you know. A lot of games I'd pick up weren't that good. However, lads, if you saw that Rockstar logo, you knew you were going to get a good game. That's how good Rockstar were back in the day. Nowadays, I mean, they don't hardly make any games anyway, but you wouldn't trust Rockstar nowadays. Like, if back in the day, Rockstar released, I don't know, Large Penis Simulator, I would buy it just based on the fact that it was Rockstar and I knew that it was going to be good. But if they did that these days, I would not be buying Penis Large Simulator. Why would that be a simulator?
This is getting weird, bro.
Okay, the next game, lads, we're going to be highlighting is going to be Manhunt, and the main reason I want to highlight this one is the fact that you just do not see Rockstar take the same sort of risks that they used to. Back in the PS2 era, Rockstar loved their risk taking, okay, and this was a hell of a risk, okay, because this game got a lot of controversy. The reason this game was so controversial, lads, is that it was incredibly fucked up. Like, you would do some really sick, twisted shit in this game, and the whole game just has an icky, dark, disgusting atmosphere that, honestly, I've not really seen too often these days. So, like, I finished this game for the first time this year, and I just felt disgusting whilst playing it, you know. It just didn't feel nice, and again, you don't really see that too often. But again, it just highlights how good Rockstar were back in the day, where they would just take a risk like this. They would make a game, like, where a lot of people aren't gonna like it, you know. This is a real Marmite game, but they were willing to take a risk, lads, and again, you don't even see that too often with not just Rockstar, but just modern games in general. There's a lot of risk taking, and it definitely paid off with this one, because it is an exceptional game, very, very unique. Now, one last thing I do want to highlight with this game, lads, is actually going to be the manual, okay? Now, nowadays, you don't really see manuals too often. Like, modern gaming has more or less been done away with manuals nowadays. You rarely ever see them. However, Rockstar have always been really good with, like, giving away manuals and maps and things like that. I'm pretty sure Red Dead Redemption 2 comes with a really awesome map, and I'm pretty sure also GTA 5, the PS4 version, comes with a map. And during this era, era, they were just really creative with their manuals. Like, this one is literally like a whole, like, snuff catalog thing. It's really fucked up. It's a awesome, like, fucked up manual. There's loads of Easter eggs in it. It's full color. It's just an awesome manual that, again, I wish we had these back, you know, nowadays. We only got them back in the day, which is kind of like the sad state of modern gaming these days. Is I just miss manuals in general. But the reason I wanted to highlight that, lads, is, again, Rockstar have been pretty good with their manuals and their maps and stuff like that. They always give something away in their games, even their modern stuff. With that being said, though, boys, the definitive edition of GTA, I'll open this bad boy up, and it's just the disc.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
This is supposed to be a celebration of the greatest GTA games ever made, you know, that's the whole point of this thing. And the fact it doesn't even come with like a cool poster, map, manual, anything, just literally the disc, I just find that I find that really sad, you know. Okay then, boys and girls, next up we're going to talk about a game that some of you guys might not even realize exists if you've only been following Rockstar Games, you know, recently, and that's Red Dead Revolver. Like, some of you guys will probably think, Majel, Red Dead Revolver? Don't you mean Red Dead Redemption? No, I'm talking Red Dead Revolver, boys and girls, okay? This is the original Red Dead. This is obviously not as good as Red Dead Redemption. I think that kind of goes without saying, because Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 are just two of the best games ever made. This game is a really good game, but it's not on that level. But I just wanted to highlight it because, again, like Rockstar, they just used to make such unique and different games. You know, we'd have the GTA series, we'd have games like this, we'd have Oni, we'd have all of these unique titles, and this game was really, really good for the time. And I actually played it. I think I played it last year. It might have been this year. I'm pretty sure it was last year I played it, and I just really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. Some of the aspects of the game haven't aged super well, but it's a good game. It's a really fun one, and I just enjoyed it. Nowadays, like Rockstar, they're only going to make games that are going to be making billions upon billions of pounds, whereas, you know, back then, they were happy to make a game like Red Dead Revolver, knowing that it probably wasn't going to sell ridiculously well, but it would make a decent amount of money, and I wish they would do that again. Okay, next up, lads, I want to talk about a little bit of a racing game series, okay, and that is going to be Midnight Club, okay? Now, if you guys remember Midnight Club, these games were classics right here. Some of the best racing games ever made, in my opinion, were Midnight Club 2 and Midnight Club 3. Like, these two are just classics. You know, the soundtracks are banging. The difficulty is incredible. Like, Midnight Club 2 is quite possibly the hardest racing game I've ever played. Like, the difficulty in this game is ridiculous. But again, that's kind of what makes it so good. And it was just such a fun game. It had a really unique style. I loved the, like, nighttime driving and stuff. Then obviously Midnight Club 3, you had all of that amazing customization. You had, again, a banger soundtrack. The racing was hard but fun. Midnight Club nowadays is just completely gone, okay? We had one on the PS3, and that was the last time we ever saw Midnight Club. And I can't help but feel like we could really do with a Midnight Club nowadays, you know, because Need for Speed just isn't quite the same as they used to be. The Burnout series is just completely missing, and obviously now Midnight Club is gone as well. And if Midnight Club made a comeback, I think it would do super well. I think it would sell well, especially nowadays with like the modern graphics and the customization options. Like, I would absolutely slap. But again, Rockstar just don't really care, you know. It's not going to make them fucking £20 billion a year like GTA does, so they're not going to bother. Okay then, boys, next up we have a couple more games here, okay, and that is going to be Max Payne and Max Payne 2. Now, again, similar to Oni, these games were not made by Rockstar, they were actually made by Remedy. But again, I just wanted to highlight them mainly for Max Payne 1, because again, similar to Oni, I picked this game up back in the day purely because of that Rockstar logo. Had I not seen that Rockstar logo right there when I was looking in the game shop, I might not have discovered this game, and this game is incredible, you know. It's one of the best shooting games ever made, especially for the time, you know, and it had an incredible dark story, and it was a great game, you know. Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2 are good, and I really love Max Payne 3 as well. I wish they would just make another Max Payne. They are going to be doing a remake, but I don't know, I would love a Max Payne 4 personally.
I need it. I need it. I need it.
Okay, the next game I want to highlight, lads, is going to be The Warriors, okay? And again, this just is another kind of game that you wouldn't really see too often nowadays, let alone from Rockstar. Now, I have to confess something here, lads. The Warriors might be my favorite movie of all time. I fucking love the 1970s movie. So regardless of whether that Rockstar logo was on there, I probably would have picked this one up as a kid. But this game is incredible, boys and girls. I played this one last year for the first time, like, fully. And they've recaptured the atmosphere in a movie perfectly. It's just an incredible game. It's really well made, and I would love a remake of this one. I know it's probably not going to happen, but this was a really good game for the time, and if it did get remade, it would just be insane. Okay, this last game I want to talk to you guys about is a very, very special game to me, okay? This is my favorite PS2 game of all time. It is easily my favorite Rockstar game of all time, okay? And that's going to be Bully, or otherwise known as Canis Canem Edit over here. And again, some of you guys are going to be raising your eyebrows like, Michelle, is that really your favorite Rockstar game of all time? It absolutely is, boys and girls. I have so many memories with this game. Again, if that Rockstar logo wasn't there, there's a good chance I never would have played it, okay? Because again, that's how much I trusted Rockstar Rockstar back in the day. And I talked about this game a lot in my favorite games of all time video, so I'm not going to bore you guys to death about the details of this one and all the nostalgia I had with it, but let's just say I love this game, you know. I really, really do love this game. Thankfully, this is my original copy of it. And the manual is a little beat up and tatty. The disc is kind of scratched from the amount I played it. I just had some incredible memories with this game, okay, and I bought it based on the fact that it was just GTA at school, and to me, that was just a big deal. In my opinion, it's just infinitely replayable. I used to play this game over and over and over again as a kid, and I've just got so many good memories of it, and it just, again, it makes me sad thinking about the current state of Rockstar, considering they made one of my favorite games of all time.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
So that about does it, boys and girls. That's all I've really got to talk about with Rockstar Games. In my opinion, this pile right here that we talked about are some of the greatest games, not just of the PS2 era, but of all time. And nowadays, we're lucky if we get even one single Rockstar game per generation of console, whereas back then, they were just bringing out game after game, and they were bangers. So yeah, that's about it, boys and girls. Let me know what you think about Rockstar Games nowadays. Let me know your thoughts on GTA and all of their amazing IPs. Let's just have a little discussion in the comments, lads. I want to hear about your thoughts on things. And yeah, other than that, boys and girls, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.